All right, guys, here's an article from Zerohedge.com. DOGE finds $4.7 trillion dollars with a T in virtually untraceable Treasury payments. If this doesn't get your blood boiling, I do not know what will. Let's go through it real quick. The Elon Musk led Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, on Monday revealed its finding that 4.7 trillion in disbursements by the US Treasury are almost impossible, quote unquote, to trace, thanks to a rampant disregard for the basic accounting practice of using tracking codes when dishing out money. I like to say doling out money, but there it is. It goes on to say, mind you, it's not as if such a federal tracking system wasn't already in place. It simply went casually unused, or you could say conveniently unused, right? For all sorts of payouts adding up to an almost unfathomable 4.7 trillion without Treasury access symbol TAS identification codes associated with those payouts. There's little hope in figuring out where all that money went. Yeah, so you can't, I mean, how are you going to find 4.7 trillion? I want you guys to really think about how much money that is. Um, oh man, I heard something like an example of to put 1 trillion into perspective, if you had a plane flying at the speed of sound with $1 trillion bills spooling out the back. I believe it said it would take 14 years to spool all of those out. You guys can double check because 14 years sounds like a really long time at the speed of sound, but I'm pretty sure that was right. And it just puts 1 trillion into perspective. I mean, my God, like look at 4.7 trillion. I mean, most people can't even wrap their minds around that. I know it's difficult for me to wrap my mind around that much money. And here there's a guy that Eric Doherty posted 4.7 trillion of our money went into a government black hole. It isn't traceable. It's gone into the abyss. Yeah, I mean, exactly. And it was, like I said, it was conveniently left um, untraceable, right? They just, oopsie, we just, we doled out a payment and, oh, let's pay these people over here or over there. Oopsie. Oh, we didn't put anything in there to track the payment. We don't know where it went to. Well, they did, but no one could track. They knew that no one else would ever find out. So there was Dave Hodges on the Dave Hodges Show. If you guys have ever watched the Dave Hodges Show, his website is the Common Sense Show, I believe. Yeah, the Common Sense Show. And he was recently talking about how there was 2.7 trillion that had been discovered to have been spent internationally. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he said it was out of the Social Security Administration, the SSA. So now I'm not sure if that's included in this 4.7 trillion or if that's separate. I'm assuming it's included. Um, but still, I mean, where is that going, right? And he mentioned that it could have been going to Democratic donators, Democratic financial contributors, which I would not doubt. I would not doubt. I believe these untraceable payments probably went somewhere that is even more nefarious. It could have gone to voting manipulation. It could have gone, I mean, who knows, right? Who knows? But anyway, the article goes on. And I'm going to leave a link to this article down below. It goes on to say, and by the way, guys, if you have not already subscribed to or have an account with Zerohedge, it is a great place, a great source for information. These guys are really on top of the ball. They're on the ball big time. Uh, The article goes on to say, let's see, quote unquote, in the federal government, the TAS field was optional for 4.7 trillion in payments and was often left blank, making traceability almost impossible, end quote. DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, announced via its X account. Thanks to DOGE, those quote unquote optional days are over. As of Saturday, this is now a required field, increasing insight into where money is actually going. DOGE added. I mean, thank God, right? Thank God. I mean, listen, guys, I have suspected for decades that we have been being railroaded, um, robbed blind by the corporate entities in government teaming up against we the people. And that is called fascism, right? That is the dictionary definition of fascism, when corporations and government are in bed together against their own population. Real Joshua, he commented, the U.S. Treasury just tossed 4.7 trillion of our tax dollars right out the window. This is why they hate Doge for exposing them. I mean, yeah, sure. I mean, exactly. I mean, they don't want their criminality being exposed because they were getting filthy rich, right? It's just disgusting, guys. It really is. The article goes on to say earlier this month, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent pushed back on portrayals of Doge employees as reckless rogues. He said, quote, "These are highly trained professionals," end quote, he told Bloomberg. He said, "This is not some roving band going around doing things. This is methodical and it is going to yield big savings." Yeah, I mean, big savings, man. You're talking like, big is putting it mildly, right? We're talking ginormous savings. Savings that will have priceless, immeasurable benefits to we the people. So, the article goes on, in the wake of the latest revelation that makes normal people glad that Doge teams are scoring the federal government. Democrats desperately tried to find a way to make it sound bad that Doge exposed trillions in untraceable payouts and promptly instituted tighter accounting discipline. Here is Wisconsin Representative Mark Pokans, I think that's how you pronounce that, his lame attempt, the article says. You ready? "For Trump and Musk, it's not about waste, fraud, or abuse. It's about finding the 4.7 trillion they need to fund the tax cuts for the wealthiest, including themselves. It's never about the middle class. They're robbing programs you benefit from to enrich themselves. Corruption." Yeah, guy. First of all, the middle class is gone. Okay, they're basically gone. There's small remnants of that here and there, small little pockets of it, throughout the United States. Basically, the middle class is gone. So I'm not sure who you're trying to appeal to there, bud. You're just using the old tactic of trying to appeal to the middle class. So yeah, nice try there, Marky Mark. Anyway, so you guys can read the rest of the article. It goes on to discuss that the leftists have been foaming at the mouth over the news that Doge is looking into the Social Security Administration's books and records. And they're saying that, it's like the article states, and this is a good example. The left is acting like, Tesla is going to reroute all these funds. They're going to put these funds into Tesla so they can all, like Elon really needs the money, right? So if you go on, there's some good key points in the article here. And I believe that these Doge guys are a team of financial professionals. But check out the article. There's some interesting numbers they mentioned in the article where they state that they may be on the trail of the biggest fraud in history, and that is their quote, as the Social Security Administration data appears to show that 20.789 million Americans over the age of 100 are collecting Social Security retirement benefits. I wonder who's actually collecting those. Like, can we find that out? Like, who is actually collecting these payments, guys? And so these guys, they want to derail DOGE, as it goes on to say. Democrats have sued and they think they're going to prevent, accessing the data. Well, of course. I mean, these little piggies want to cover up their crime, right? Because they've been wallowing in the mud. They've been happy as pigs in the mud for a long time because they've been money laundering and completely unaccountable to the American people, right? So, I mean, they mention the Office of Personnel Management, Health and Human Services, Education, Energy, Transportation, Labor, and Commerce Department. I mean, it's crazy what's been going on. And I think I think generally speaking, the American public knows that something's been going on. I think they have a general sense, that yeah, we've been being railroaded here for a long time. And my hope, see, here's my hope, guys. Okay, I'm going to conclude this video, and like I said, I'll see. Look at that, Chuck's currently. He's got a picture there of thank you, Doge. You can see Trump there. That's funny. Um, well, it's winning day again. That's awesome, man. But anyway, guys, like I said, I'm going to wrap it up and let you guys check out the link below for yourself. Again, Zerohedge, great source of information. These guys are on the ball and very professional. They've got some great writers over there, including this guy that wrote this article. And I wanted to tell you guys that my hope, what I would love to see happen for America, is that for America to become undivided, we are supposed to be one population, one tribe, right? And unfortunately, the powers that be have divided us in a plethora of ways, let's just put it like that, in order to benefit themselves. Because as long as we're distracted fighting each other in countless different ways through, race and sexual preference and how do you identify and class warfare with the wealthy and the rich or sorry, that's redundant. The wealthy and the rich, I think those are the same things. Yeah, the wealthy and the middle class and the poor, which, as we all know, the wealthy and the poor are really the two only classes left, right? I mean, the middle class, as I stated earlier, there's a few pockets of that left, but I mean, come on. I mean, the middle class is basically gone for all intents and purposes. But what I would like to see is for everyone to get on the same page and say, hey, look, you know what? It doesn't matter if you are a Democrat or a Republican. It doesn't matter if you're on the left or on the right. We have to erase and wipe out all of this programming that they have instilled in us in order to benefit themselves, and realize that we are a tribe. We are supposed to be one tribe of people. We, the people, are supposed to be benefiting. We are the ones that are supposed to be in charge and benefiting from this corporation that we call the United States. Yes, it's a country, and it is a great country. It was once a fabulous, awesome country, and we can get it back there. It's going to take a unified effort. It's going to take focus. And we can do it. I believe that no matter who you are, we can do it. And think about this. There's a lot of people that don't like this political person or don't like that political person. They don't like this president or that president. None of that would matter if we, the people, took back control of our government and we truly had say-so and oversight concerning the things that go on. Then we would not have to worry about so much who's sitting in the Oval Office, what administration is quote unquote in power, right? We, the people, have to do this for ourselves. Freedom is not free, and freedom certainly involves a tremendous amount of accountability and responsibility.